Alrighty, so as you can see, and you may be seeing in some recent videos, I don't remember actually what I've really uploaded, but I have downsized this collection a good amount since, the days of like Hurricane Milton where it had like at least almost 70 radios in service. Now we have between 30 and 40. I don't remember the exact number. A lot of them are actually in that old computer box in storage, but a few of them I've actually given to one of my friends. My friend Drew has started collecting weather radios recently, and I've given him a few of mine that I just don't really use anymore. So you'll notice some of them aren't here. You can check out his channel if you want to see them, but I'll mention them right now. My Radio Shack 12251 is now in possession. My old Project Community Alert 74200 is in his possession, and that thing unfortunately doesn't really work well anymore, which is kind of crazy, but oh well. My Recom R1650 is also in his possession. And I think that's actually it for now. I do have a few more I want to give him. So, you'll see a lot more of my radios in his setup soon. But he has a limited amount of radios now, so I think you should definitely check out his channel. Putnam County WX. Anyways, let's get into this. We're actually going to start over here before we move to the main table, and I'm using my Sony camcorder for this because I figured it'd be a lot easier. Here we have my 2004 Radio Shack 12261.
National Hurricane Center in Miami. Issued at 1:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of America, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 7 days.
I've had this thing since, I believe, it was sometime in like late winter, like maybe February or January of 2023 or 2022. I don't remember, but I don't know. I'm a little foggy on some of these. I got a lot of radios in 2022 and 2023. This thing is very reliable. Very nice radio. If you're looking for a Radio Shack first header and you can't find, the 521 or what you'll see next to this thing, I recommend this. Next to that is another really good first header, and one of my favorite sounding first headers, the Radio Shack, the AlertWorks ER10.
Clear with a temperature of 76 at Leesburg and 76 at Winter Haven.
Not getting the best signal right now, but I do have an external antenna hooked up to it. I don't remember where it went, but I do have one. I've had this thing since... I actually got this for my birthday. This was, I believe, a birthday present on my birthday of 2020. So, I've had this thing for 5 years, which is insane. That's actually crazy how long I've been collecting radios. So yeah, very cool. And I'll start testing very quickly. There we go. It's a little finicky, but... And I, of course, have the white version, the WH. I do want to get a black ER10 at some point, but can't tell you when, because who knows if I'll actually stick to that. Anyways, right here, we have my Radio Shack 12-382, which isn't being used solely because I don't have an adapter available for this thing. I'm pretty sure the adapter I have is actually being used for that thing, which that adapter is being used for this thing. And I could honestly alternate them and switch them out. And the thing with my setup is, at some points I probably will switch out radios if I get bored. This thing, if you guys know, is very troublesome. It activates pretty much when it wants to. And, yeah, it sounds cool. Has, of course, the same sound as this thing and the other Radio Shack first headers, and has the cool scroll with the incandescent lights, so at some point I might bring this thing back. I've had this since, I believe, Christmas of 2021 or 2022. Next, that's not really a weather radio, but I might as well feature this thing. This is my TID Radio H3. I use this for rail fanning. Very great scanner. You can update it with different firmware, customize it however you want, and I have this really cool, I forgot what it's called, a really cool antenna that Lewis gave me, Roleplay WX, or Roleplay from FL, I forgot what his channel is, but one of those two. Got this recently because I lost my Baofeng that I had before, so I got this as a replacement, and it works flawlessly. And you can have a smaller antenna for it, that just fell. I have a smaller antenna for it, and the antenna that came with it before. So yeah, you'll see this thing in a lot of my RoFetti videos. Next to that, one of my iconic radios, and I would think I was one of the first to actually have this thing, the Solar Crank CR1009. I got it for my birthday in 2023. This is the really loud one. I'm not going to siren test it right now, but if you know, you know. Very loud. And it was pretty much an unexpected birthday present. And this thing, actually after Milton, was out of service for a good few months until I actually got this setup back together like a few months ago. This thing was out of service for a while after Hurricane Milton. And this thing, I relied on a lot. This was one of the last radios I had, or I had access to, with enough battery to somewhat charge my phone, and it kept it charged throughout the night. Not really high, but it did it. And I drained the battery on this thing. But yeah, very, very cool radio. Not the best, in terms of signal and whatnot, but does the job well. Next up, we have two of my 3 ER series radios. We have my Midland ER210 and my Midland ER50. Both pretty low on battery, but no.
Yesterday, the maximum wind observed was 14 miles an hour from the west. The highest wind...
Should probably have the antenna higher, but these things are pretty cool. Personally, I think the ER210 is a lot better. The ER50, of course, is bigger. I like the design of it. The one thing with this, though, at least mine, the battery isn't the best, and the antenna, I've only tapped it a handful of times, and you can see, yeah, the antenna's just... yeah, compared to that, which isn't. This thing also, for DXing, can kind of suck. A lot. For some reason, when you're like getting kind of static, the broadcast just goes silent. So if you're trying to pick up something in a lot of deep static, you just won't hear it at all. So honestly, I suggest if you want an ER series for DXing, either get this thing or another one I'll show later. I've had this, I believe I got this for like I think in January of 2022, and this thing April or something? I don't know. I have an unboxing video of this thing though, so I'll put that up for this. If I have unboxing videos available for these, I'll put them up so you can know when I got them. Next to that, which I also have an unboxing video of, is my Optimus... oh gosh, what's the model? I don't remember. Oh. Oh. Hi, PO41. Yeah, I keep the folks in Georgia rail cam up on this Echo, so... that's Amtrak PO41 with the Mark B. Kenny unit leading. Okay. Yeah, this Optimus, like CR, what, 307 or something? I don't remember. This is another one of my rare radios that Romium gave me. He actually gave me a few of my radios that I have. I've had this thing since sometime in 2023. I don't know, that's it. I put the unboxing up for it, or put it on the screen. This thing's pretty cool. Sounds like some of the similar Emersons and similar SEMA first alerts. Have it unplugged because, I don't know, it kept going off when I didn't want it to, and there's not really an easy way to turn it off, so I just unplugged it. Right here, we have my Radio Shack 12521. This is a 2012 version, given to me by Simplex.
Report from 210 miles west of Captiva was not available. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast issued to AM Monday, June 9th, 2025 for the KPS 505 listening area.
And if some of y'all noticed, I'm not sure if I've uploaded videos since this happened, but KPS is actually now wireless, which means both of my main stations are finally wireless. So good on y'all, Ruskin. And yes, the screen is a little... it just does that for some reason. I've had this thing for a good few years. Again, given to me by Simplex. Yeah, pretty cool. Very nice. My favorite of the Radio Shack first headers. And it's on the wall. Right here we have my Eton FR370, which I think is off. Yeah, it's off right now.
West winds around 5 miles an hour. Chance of rain 40%.
Had this thing for a good while also. Again, don't remember the exact date, but sometime in 2023, I think. Honestly, if you're looking for an Eton, I recommend this thing highly. I think it's better. It's a better choice than the Zone Guard, which I actually have right over there. Really good choice. So I suggest this thing. This is the Yellow Bean gray and black version. There's a few. This is like there's a gray and blue, a gray and like silver. There's a lot of cool versions of these. Next up, we have my Uniden Bearcat BC148 XOT, I think.
Chance of rain 70%.
This is the cow, the famous cow. I'm not going to get a full siren because I have people in the house and I don't want to wake them up. But if you know what it sounds like, you've heard it in my videos before. So, had this thing for a good while. I think I got it for Christmas in 2023. Right here we have my Midland WR300 version 4.
Lows in the lower 70s. Chance of rain 50%. Sunday and Sunday night, mostly cloudy.
Had this thing, I think I got it for Christmas one year. I don't remember which year, but I did get it for Christmas for sure. This is my second of, or one of two 300s I have. I had a version 5, and it's still, it's weird. It's working now, but the tuner did die, and I'm not sure if it's going to really be put in service, but this thing works great. So this is my early, like-ish, my older 300 that I have in service. Here we have the Redicus TR625, which isn't on right now because this thing has a beeping problem. It literally just beeps randomly for no reason. This thing's pretty loud. Had this thing for... This is actually my second TR625. I had another one, but I accidentally blew it up by putting in the wrong adapter, so... Yeah, that's why I have the second one. Pretty cool. Not the best with the radio out there, but pretty unique. Next to that, we have my First Alert WX150.
6:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Great signal this
The
thing.
tropical weather outlook issued by the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Issued at 1:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Had this thing... I believe I also got this for my birthday. The same time I got this, so I think my birthday is 2023, I think. Let me siren adjust it real quick. Pretty cool. In my little hoard of snacks, we have my second radio given to me by Romeo, my Midland 74109.
The temperature was 76 degrees. The dew point 74.
I do have another 109, and I have a 105 XL. That 105 XL may be going somewhere soon, but I have this one in service because it's probably the better one of my 109s, and this sounds really cool and it's really loud, so got that at the same time I got the Optimus. In here, we have two Radio Shack scanners that aren't being used currently. Or, well, one Radio Shack and a Whistler. We have my Whistler WS1025 and my Radio Shack Pro 136. That thing, I'm probably going to interchange with this thing. Use the same adapter, the same antennas. And the Pro 136 I might put back in service. But I have another similar Uniden radio, which works a lot better. It sounds the same. I got this the same time I got my Solar Crank. So maybe these things will come back. Not fully sure yet. Now we move on to the big table. I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly, but big table time. Let's start actually here, near the table. The Eton Zone Guard.
Clear. Lows in the mid-70s. West winds around 5 miles an hour in the evening, becoming light and variable.
Okay, 70s. Cool. I got this the same time I got the Capello. I don't remember when, but sometime 2022 or 3. Pretty cool. This is the older version that has the green for advisories and yellow for watches, not the new one that has the green for watches. This thing has yellow. Right here we have my Radio Shack, actually. My Radio Shack Pro 164 given to me by Antonio.
Area. Wednesday and Wednesday night, numerous showers and scattered thunderstorms.
As funny because I actually bought this thing originally to be used for rail fanning, and I have done it a few times, but this thing actually works a lot better. Use Saturn just to sing real quick. It's funny how it actually doesn't do the advisory tone for tests. It actually does the watch tone, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I had this thing since, like, I believe early 2024, I think. Right here we have my Recom R1630B. That's actually a pretty rare one. It's a B, but it has... It's a B. It has the newer-ish, it has the advisory light, the yellow advisory statement, and the orange watch. But of course it has that text written out instead of like the public alert and NOAA logo. And yeah, it has the A firmware. And it has the high-low switch, which is right... Hold on, camera angle. It's right there. There's the high-low switch. Simplex bought me this, not knowing it was actually pretty rare, so thanks to him. Pretty rare Recom. Had this for a good few years now.
In Miami, issued at 1:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the North Atlantic.
Yeah, very cool. Behind that, we have one of my first radios I ever got in the collection. This is the 5th or 6th one. My Recom R1630C.
At Brookville, it was clear. The temperature was 71 degrees.
It's crazy how well these things work. I've had this thing in service for at least 6 years. And it's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, this is, of course, one of the newer ones. I'm not going to fall. Well. Yeah. Very cool. Behind that, we have my red Eton SolarLink FR600. I'm just down a little bit.
Elsewhere around the region, it was clear, with a temperature of 76 at Leesburg and 76 at Winter Haven.
The funny story with this thing was, I was looking for an FR600 for a while, and I saw someone listed an FR360 in red, which does look a little similar to this, but it was actually a 600. I got it for like $30. So that was a pretty good deal for a red FR600. I do have a black FR600, which is in the box. That thing was given to me by Simplex, but this thing just looks a little cooler in my opinion. I like red, so yeah. Here we have my Radio Shack 12247A.
PS505 listening area.
Had this thing for a good while. I also have a 247B, which is in the box in storage, because this thing just looks a little nicer. Sounds a little cooler. Here we have one of my favorite radios in the entire collection. My Sangean CL100.
Mostly clear. Lows in the mid-70s. West winds around 5 miles an hour in the evening.
Very nice speaker. This thing's just amazing. I had this thing since... I think this was a birthday present for me in 2019. So May 5th, 2019. Crazy how long I've had this thing for. And yeah. Right here we have my Uniden BC370 CRS.
And thunderstorms. Lows in the lower 70s. Southwest winds around 5 miles an hour in the evening, becoming light and variable.
This thing's cool because, of course, it has AM/FM activation, which I do use. I've had this thing for a good few years. This thing is, and yes, it's not January 12th, 2013. I guess I lost power and some of the radios don't have the right times. Right here we have my Midland WR400 version 3.
And scattered thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 90s. Lows in the lower 70s.
This is my second WR400. I actually blew up my original one, which is also a version 3. Brought that thing to me to New Jersey and everything, and yeah, it kind of died. So we have this one instead, which Midland actually gave to me for free. So props to them. Right here, another radio that Midland actually gave me for free to replace my WR300 version 5 is my, I forget what serial, like a 2020? I think my 2020 serial number, WR120.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 90s. Lows in the mid-70s.
This is my second WR120. I do have my original 2012 EZ model in the box and storage. Like I said, this one was given to me by Midland to replace my WR300 version 5 because they didn't have the version 8s in stock, so they gave me one of these. So that's pretty nifty. Right here we have, or should I go down here? Right here we have my Radio Shack 12-991 with the white logo.
Low of 75. The record low is 63 degrees, which was set in 1970. No precipitation fell yesterday.
Wow, okay. I think that's I-144. Wow, that scared the crap out of me. Okay. I've had this thing since, I believe this was also a Christmas present in 2019 or 2020. This thing's really cool. It has the same sound, of course, as the Radio Shack 12996. This thing kind of sucks to program. If you don't know how to do it, it kind of sucks, but... Apologies for the shadows. This really does not have the best in terms of shadows. Yeah. Right here we have my SEMA First Alert WA67.
The normal high temperature for today is 90 degrees, and the normal low is 75.
Doesn't sound the best, but it still works. Sounds pretty cool. Had this for a good while. I believe this was probably also a Christmas present. And actually has a rechargeable battery that Simplex gave me. So this thing worked a good bit during Milton. Here we have my Accurite 08510.
Expect warm and humid conditions with mainly afternoon and evening isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms each day. Rain chances will increase as the dryer erodes over the course of the next few days. The current time is 7:03 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The tropical weather outlook issued by the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
This is the scrolling screen radio that has the sign tone for the siren test. Or the siren, I can't siren test it, but yeah, I've had this thing for a good while, and pretty reliable. Sounds really cool with big collections. Right here we have my 2003 Radio Shack 12261.
And the relative humidity 100%. The wind was calm. The pressure was 29.99 inches and steady.
This thing I've had for a while. I think got it sometime in 2023. I got this thing because it was pretty cheap and has the test beat, which this 261 is not. So I figured it was pretty cool. And yeah, one of my rare radios. Right here we have one of my most common radios, the Midland WR100 version 5, this new version 5.
It was partly cloudy with a temperature of 80 at Tampa International and 74 at Orlando.
Had this since May 2022. Yeah, it's been working flawlessly. Voice crack. Cool. Oh, I forgot to sound test these things. Let me do this really quickly. And then WR400. I love how that thing sounds. Right here we have my MG kit, MD319.
Including the cities of Crystal River, Inverness, Bushnell, the villages, Brooksville, and Spring Hill.
This is one of Drew's favorite radios, and it's actually a really cool second header.
Tonight.
It's actually cool how whatever alert you get, like, you've gotten recently, it actually reflects that in the siren test, and this thing has a very similar screen to the WR300. Looks actually very similar. Yeah, it has a strobe and everything. Right here we have my Midland ER102.
Tuesday night, partly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Low.
This thing sounds pretty cool. It sounds similar to the WX268. Right here we have another one of my favorites, the Radio Shack 12519.
The radio listening area. Wednesday and Wednesday night, numerous showers and scattered thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-90s.
This thing's pretty cool. Here it is. This is the first header version. There's a third header version, but this is the first header, which I think is a little bit cooler. This sounds right on the first header. Here you have my Midland WR300 version 8.
Chance of rain 40%. Saturday and Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Scattered showers and...
If you don't know about the version 8, it's pretty much like, it's like a hybrid. It has the button beats the 74200, but it has like a similar kind of siren to the WR120. It has like the 120 siren pitch, but the WR400 speed. It's a weird combo. And when you adjust the siren volume, it's actually the older WR300 test beat. Very nice. It took me a while to get one of these, and I'm so glad I have one, because this is my favorite of the WR300s. That thing's still a little bit better in my opinion, but this thing's still really cool. Behind that we have my Emerson Research CKW2000, which is on KPS, but not picking up the best, and as you can see the screen is kind of messed up, but it still works, so I mean, I'll take that. This is actually my newest radio, I'm pretty sure, or my newest acquired radio. I don't remember when, but it was sometime in like late 2024. So it's been a while since I've bought another radio since then. Here we have my Capello CR2W.
Temperature of 76 at Leesburg and 76 at Winter Haven.
Got this thing sometime in the fall of 2022. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I got that for my birthday in 2022 or 3, and that I actually got during the landfall of Tropical Storm Nicole. So this thing's first alert was actually a tropical storm warning, which is pretty cool. We've had this thing around the same time as the Zone Guard, and I forgot what else. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Behind that, we have my favorite of the Midland ER radios, the ER310.
Including the cities of Crystal River, Inverness, Bushnell, the villages, Brooksville, and Spring Hill. Today, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-90s.
If this thing didn't have, a dead battery, or I guess lack thereof, or a rechargeable battery, I'd use this thing way more than the ER210. So honestly, out of the ERs I have, I'd recommend, in order, the ER310, the ER210, and then the ER50. All pretty good, but this thing's really good, and it has a dog whistle and the flashlight, of course. And a dog whistle built in, which I think I just said, but yeah, it's a dog whistle also. Second to last, we have my Radio Shack 12255, one of my rarer radios in the collection.
And now the extended forecast for the radio listening area. Wednesday and Wednesday night.
Pretty loud, but this thing's actually really cool. Can't sound test this thing, unfortunately, but it sounds really cool. Actually, I could try to use a clip of me stuff activating this thing if you want to hear what it sounds like. And I've had this thing since I don't remember, sometime in 2022, I believe, or 3. I think it was 2022 though. And finally, to end it off, we have my Midland HH54 VP.
Showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the lower 90s. Lows in the lower 70s. Chance of rain 50%.
It has a cradle from one of my old VV2s and doesn't have a rechargeable battery because they kind of died. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually everything. I do have a few radios that of course aren't being used, like these. I actually have in here my Eton ESP2100 and my Radio Shack 12254. But yeah, there's a lot of radios and boxes in here, so I might pull some of those out at some point. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this kind of, random, not really rushed, but definitely random Weather Radar collection video. Stay tuned for more. I'm not sure what I'm going to really do in this. Maybe some like behind the scenes of like my train stuff or whatever I might do. A video like that on here, but we'll see. Definitely check out EM Train Productions on my other channel, which is pretty much my main channel now. We're up to almost 500 subscribers, and yeah, definitely shifting a lot of my focus on that. But I do want to still upload a little bit on there, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you sometime in the next episode. I'm not sure, or next video. I'm not sure when that'll be, but soon. So see y'all then.